Chairman, Choshev Mitglieder vom Herzensgedelte Teure, Messias von Agudas Yisrael, Choshev Abonim, Choshev Gast, Convention-Gast, Europa, Achim v'Reim Ahuvim. Before I begin my remarks, I have one simple request to make of you good people. And I hope that this appeal will be very successful. We have brought a distinguished Rav from Europe to be the guest of our convention from Europe tonight, the Biala Rebbe Shlita. Now I would ask everyone in this room, he'll be speaking right after I conclude. I ask everyone in this room to please remain until the very end. It will be worth your while. I know it was a bit heartwarming to have this miniature tour of 84 William Street, which actually portrayed, if I may say, only a small part of the American Agudah staff and subsidiaries. But the success of the American Agudah, to the extent we have success, is not only the highly motivated staff team that we saw on that screen, but it is due to many people whom we did not see on that screen. Now I'm referring to the finest group of volunteer Balabatim leaders that any movement in this country ever had. And I refer, of course, to the Rabbanim Gedolei Torah, who picked up that torch of Torah leadership of Agudas Yisrael, left by the Ziknei Hadoyer Zecher Tzadik Levracha, Tzadikim Levracha, whom we lost recently. And now they are the ones who are guiding us on Derech Asher Nelech Bo. However, we didn't come here tonight, as I'm sure you realize by now from having listened this afternoon and this evening. We haven't come to this convention to pat ourselves on the back or to gloat triumphantly about our successes. To use an unpopular term these days, there's another side of the coin, that while the stocks of Agudas Yisrael of America are going up, Baruch Hashem, the stock market of Klal Yisrael is crashing on all sides of us. And unfortunately, too many of us, we in the Lager of Yidden, don't feel the agony and the pain of this catastrophe. There's a beautiful taich by Shamshon Raphael Hirsch on a very familiar posik in Tehillim. We read about portraying that scene after the Churban Beis Hamikdash, along the road where the Jews are being marched into captivity in Golas Bovel. You all know the posik, Al Nahaves Bovel. Along the rivers of Bovel, Shom Yoshavnu, there we sat. Gam Bochinu, and there we wept, as Ochenu, as Sion, as we reminded ourselves of Sion. And Shamshon Raphael Hirsch is troubled. Why Shom Yoshavnu? What is the importance of sitting down that made them cry? Totally irrelevant. he says, he explains, the Jews at that time were so engrossed in the immediate task of following their captors' orders, forward march and forward march, that like automated robots, their senses were completely dulled. They lost their feelings. It was only when they were permitted to pause, only when they sat down to catch their breath, when Sham Yoshavnu, when they were able to collect their thoughts, that they said, Gewalt, what have we lost? And then Gam Bochinu B'Zachenu Esiyain, the tears began to flow like fountains, where the full impact of the tragedy and the loss struck at their hearts. My rabbis, we heard the Telzer Rosh Yeshiva soll gesund sein so eloquently point out that we from the Yidden have caught a cold from the contagious freezing air of the Golas. If we from a Yidden have become infected, what can we expect of the wide Jewish world out there? And the problem is that we from a Yidden who live in Golas are so preoccupied with our own private little islands. We are so enamored, we're so enthralled by the flourishing oases of Torah that Baruch Hashem that we built, and by our own increased levels of Yerushalayim Baruch Hashem. At the same time, as the Rosh Yeshiva pointed out, we are so caught up in the hustle and bustle of the society in which we live, and we are so swept up by the gigantic material demands of this society, that many of us have become, in a sense, like robots, and we simply do not or cannot pause from our routine to reflect on the broad canvas of the big Jewish world out there, and to see, oh how we have fallen, Bachman al-Islam. A national convention of Agudas Yisrael, B'Sasef Rosh Hayom, particularly one marking the 25th yahrzeit of the Godel Hadoyer who carried Klal Yisrael on his shoulders, Moron Rabban Kotler Zechet Tzadik V'Kodesh L'Brocha. This convention is the occasion, a rare occasion, that Sham Yoshavnu, that opportunity to pause from the treadmill of our daily lives and our daily grind, to make a shtickl cheshbon nefesh. I wouldn't dare make that cheshbon nefesh about ourselves. God of the Torah can. But a cheshbon nefesh of the matziv of Klal Yisrael bein ha'amim. And if Yoshavnu will only pause, will only stop for a moment to think and look, broaden our horizons, then Gam Bochinu B'Zachreinu Asi, and our hearts would overflow from emotion, or remind ourselves what Klal Yisrael is and is meant to be, not just us sitting in this room. We're an Amad Ifcha, we are a Goy Kadosh, and a Mamlechas Kehanim. And we would stop to face that stark reality that the overwhelming majority of Klal Yisrael today never. A nation of Bnei Malachim, of princes, behave like paupers and peasants and have renounced their inheritance. How dare we? How can we be satisfied when we say, Ashreinu, Batei Cholkeinu, Manoim Goyolenu, my Yofa Yerushaseinu. How can we close our eyes to those who have renounced that Jerusha, when most of the Jewish world has turned the clock back to the Avodah Zarah days of Avraham Avinu, with one difference. If in the Avodah Zarah days of Avraham Avinu, the David HaMelech describes idols, the idols that he describes are different than the idols that the Klal Yisrael is worshipping today. He describes the idols as Pelahem v'lo Yedaberu, Yodayim v'lo Yemishu, Ragleim v'lo Yalechu. Their mouths they don't speak, hands they don't touch, feet that don't walk. Today's idols that are being worshipped, unfortunately, by Klal Yisrael are different because Pelahem, they have a mouth, and they talk and they talk and they talk through a press, they talk to the world. And Yedehem v'yemishun, oh, do they touch us with their hands? We have 613 mitzvahs, and they have 613 problems. So if it's only a problem, every problem has a solution. Let me tell you of how some of these idols, these Reform rabbis, solved this problem, the problem of giving a get. I hold in my hand a petur, a document given by a group of Reform rabbis. They'll soon tell you how it came to me, to bear witness that a Jewish woman is divorced al pi Torah. I'll read this document in its beautiful original Lashon Kodesh. Ha'isha liba bas Rab Nachman kibla get peturin ma'ashayfet Marshall C. Weishart b'yoyim chav gimel l'chodesh August b'malkeim 11th Judicial Circuit Court, Dade County, Florida. V'arei muteres l'chol adam kedas Moshe v'Yisrael v'tami lozeh dinah de malchuse dinah. Signed, Harav David Zev ben Eliezer Halevi and Harav Meir ben Moshe Ruvain, two rabbis in Connecticut. Do you know who gave me this copy, this beautiful copy of how one of the 613 problems are resolved so easily? You know what it says? Well, you all know. He claims that this Goyish judge who gave the woman a civil divorce, so this woman is of course completely permitted to marry again according to the laws of Kedas Moshe Yisrael, as they say, according to the laws of Moses in Israel, because we have to observe the law of the land. This was given to me by one of the leading members of the Me'etzes Gedolei HaTorah a number of years ago, Zeichat Tzadik Levracha. Shows you how far they can touch us. This divorced young woman's mother came to this Godel B'Yisrael, one of the biggest Gedolim in America, and said, my daughter has a Yiddish get. Could this Godel please arrange Chuppah v'Kedushin through someone for her daughter? This is a document showing how they do touch us with their hands in a very bad way. But I want to add something, how they touch us in other ways with their hands. It's sad when these Reform rabbis make a deal with the Israeli politicians to import this brand of Avodah Zarah to our Tzenu HaKadoshah, and then cunningly manipulate the media to poison the minds of the public, to hate religious Jews. Our faces should flame with shame that in Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh, police are brutally beating non-violent Fruma Yidden, including elected Fruma city councilmen, who are engaged in a peaceful protest against Chilul Shabbos, in actions that are reminiscent. Many years ago down south, how the racists used to club the blacks. Gam bochinu. And I say too that our faces should flame with shame that a Jewish court in Yerushalayim this week, the news has not yet traveled to this country, but we'll be hearing about it soon. The Jerusalem court issued a decree that after 30 years of this local municipal law under the mandate, after 40 years under the Israel government, that the local municipal laws banning Chilul Shabbos publicly, such as in restaurants or in theaters, that law is now null and void. Chagleihem v'yelechu, they do go, they walk, they gave him a dafnish, we heard so much about it today. And last week, at the convention of the Reform Union of American Hebrew Congregations, their president announced a new program that they're often running to Russia now to bring Reform school books and prayer books into Russia. And he explained, and I quote, that Reform Judaism, quotes, could improve the prospects for Jewish survival in Russia, just as Reform guaranteed the survival of Judaism in North America, end quotes. One a little slow. But if we talk about bochinu, tears, Kerzen is not the answer. I've often quoted what the Heilige Kotzker Rebbe said. Why the Chazal tell us that the gates of tears are never closed. And he asked, if the gates of tears never close, what do we need gates for to begin with? And the Kotzker says, you know when those gates close? The gates of Dmois, of tears, close when a person gives tears, only tears, in a situation that demands action. Good style of America, dear friends, is determined Be'ezus Hashem to provide that action, both to defend our principles and to reach out to all of Klal Yisrael. The only meaningful response is to double and triple that coalition force that the Agudas Yisrael and its country has been building. In Eretz Yisrael, they must know that religious Jewry throughout the world will not sit silently by and permit Yerushalayim to be turned into a second Paris. And if the Reform rabbis are now rushing to Russia, we must be there one day earlier, as we have been with our shlichim, bringing Heilige Tanach and Sefrei Tanach and Gemaras and Igros and all the Heilige Sforim. We should be there one day earlier, and we must be there one day later to sweep out their garbage. Agudas Yisrael of America is on the right road. We have, Baruch Hashem, already given Orthodoxy a new image, a new pride, a new spirit. But Tayar Hartzig Yidden, that full force can only be forged when the Ahadis HaChedis puts an end to that fragmentation, to that Zerspaltenkeit, Zerpitzelkeit, to that splintering ourselves into divisions and subdivisions and subdivisions that weakens our response and weakens our effectiveness. 1,000-fold more than that which divides us is our common commitment to Torah, which unites us together as one. When the Sefer Torah is taken out in Shul, it's taken out of the oven, and the Shliach Tzibur raises that Sefer Torah, he proclaims in the words of David HaMelech, Gadlu L'Hashem iti, declare the godless of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, iti, with me, because I can't do it alone, he says. The entire Tzibur has to join hands. Then we can achieve that to elevate Shem Shemayim from the Golas dust where it's being trampled upon. Never mind whether that Golas dust is in the United States or that Golas dust was imported into Eretz Yisrael. That goal of Chadei Shemeinu Kikedet, that goal to restore the Neshama to all of Klal Yisrael, so that Am Yisrael can fulfill what our destiny is, that can only be achieved one way. Unereimemo Shemai Yachdov, together. And together, that's what Agudas Yisrael is all about. Thank you.